Hey guys, this is Dion here with Your Guitar Academy, and in this lesson we're going to learn how to play Layla by Derek and the Dominos. All right, let's go from the top. So we kick things off with this cool riff here. So there's quite a lot of layering going on in this track. Again, there's quite a few different guitar parts, but this is the sort of main riff there. So we start off, and some people might play it there. I just kind of prefer to play it there because then it allows me to grab the chord that I'm playing next quite easily. So 5th fret of the A string, the E string, hammering onto the 8th fret of E, same on the A string, and then pull off to the 5th fret of A. Okay, and then we go. So that's just power chords, okay? So 5th fret power chord on the A string, slide down to the 3rd fret, and then play the 1st fret. So something like this. A bit slower. Right, so that movement is quite quick, but you kind of take your time with that and kind of get used to the feel of sliding down with the power chord there. Okay, now, so I'm kind of deliberating which is the best finger to use here. The notes are essentially this. Open A, 3rd fret of E, so I think I'm likely to use my 3rd finger there. That feels most natural. And then, so we've got, after the 1st fret power chord, the B flat, open A, 3rd fret of E, and then the C power chord on the 3rd fret of A, and then open A, 3rd fret of E. So it sounds like this. There we go, that's better. And we end up back on the D power chord. So that full thing sounds something like this. Let's try it with the drums. We are at about, we're at 80 BPM there. So I'll count myself in and then we can try playing it. So 1, 2, 3. Cool. So let's talk about the lead part now, the famous. So we're up in position 1, D minor pentatonic, okay? So you want to use your 1st and your 3rd finger for this one. Eric Clapton actually, to my knowledge, never uses his 4th finger. He always uses his 3rd. So we're going to pick the 10th fret of B, hammer onto the 13th fret of B, and then you see we move up to the high E string there, pick the 10th fret, hammer onto 13, pull off, like that. And I've only picked 2 notes there. Pick, hammer, pick, hammer, pull off. And then, down on the 13th fret of B, you need to pick that note. And then we end up back on the 10th fret of E. And just get used to the feel of that under your fingers. Try it nice and slow. Remember, with hammer-ons and pull-offs, we're looking at having them the same volume as our picked notes, okay? So from here, we bend to the 13th fret of the high E, up a whole tone. Then release and pick the note as normal. And then the 12th fret of E, 13th fret of B, slide up to the 15th fret of B. So. And then it repeats again. And now, see, I'm now up on the 15th fret of E, and we bend that a tone up as well. Release, and then finish the phrase in the same way as before. 12 on E, 13 on B, 15 on B. So that full thing goes something like this. So that is where the tune modulates. So we then, for the verses, end up in C sharp minor, which is quite a crazy modulation because we started in D minor and it goes down semitone. So the way we enter that with this melodic idea is, so once you hit that 13th fret on the last phrase, you just bend up a semitone. And then it lands us nicely there, okay? So let's talk about this rhythm part in the verses where it modulates to C sharp minor. So quite a busy part, I would say. So there's lots of kind of like stuff going on in this tune, but I'm just going to take you through the chord structure and what chords I would, chord voicings I would use to play this. So starting with a C sharp minor, I'm using my A minor shape from the Cage system, okay? And that's for one whole bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go to G sharp minor, I'm using my E minor shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to C sharp minor, 2 for 2 beats. And then we go C, D, E. So I'm using my A shape from the Cage system there. So C chord, 3rd fret, D chord, 5th fret, and then the E chord on the 7th fret. So far that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. From there, we've got an F sharp minor, that's down on the 2nd fret of the E string. I'm using the E minor shape again. Then we've got a B, I'm using the A shape on that 2nd fret of the A string. And up to E, 1, 2, and then an A chord. Now I'm using the E major shape, okay, on the 5th fret of E. Each of those chords is 2 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, then we're back into D minor there for the chorus. Okay, so that full verse goes something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, Back to the D minor there. In terms of strumming pattern, there's a lot going on in this tune. I would do something like... So that's just 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. But it's 1, one of those things, I very much doubt they would be playing the same strumming pattern each time. There's an opportunity for you to be creative there, kind of wing it at whatever strumming pattern you want. As long as you're playing chords, changing chords at the right time, it's going to sound great. So, you know, you could go. Back into a chorus there. So from that point, we have a lot of repetition around this chorus riff, and there's some really cool kind of like textural slide guitar stuff going on. I'd really recommend feeling around that bit yourself and trying to improvise something, you know, based around our D blues scale. So anything really. It's a really fun one and a really fun chord progression to improvise over. So I'd recommend trying that. So what happens is it repeats, and then we have this piano outro. So I'm going to show you the chords for this part as well. So we're now in C, and we go C chord, and then we do an C over E, which means we're playing an E in the bass note, which is really nice. So just keep that standard C chord. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 to an F. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. And then we go to a B flat 7. Okay, you can play a regular B flat if you want, but I like playing it as a 7 chord. So I'm using that E shape on the 6th fret there. And then it stays on that for a bit. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. C again. And obviously this is on a piano in the original tune, but it's nice to be able to play the chords on guitar as well. So whilst this progression is cycling around, it also changes a little bit further on, and we go to an A minor, to a D minor, to a G, to a C again, back to A minor, and then we do D, back to a G. So, and then it just kind of cycles around there. And I'll do that section one more time. And that's it. It's this kind of wistful thing where he's got these sorts of little melodic ideas as well. However, because it's so kind of here, there, and everywhere, this part, and again, I bet they don't play it the same every time, you've got to try and experiment with some of your own melodies. It's all just kind of based around C major. So you can use your C major pentatonic. The possibilities are pretty endless with this one. So that pretty much covers all of the kind of main parts in this tune. So you've got your intro part. Your lead part. And then you've got your verse part. And then back to that part, and then we have our outro section. And then B flat, and then the other part as well. So take your time with all of those parts, see if you can get them all individually working, and then put the song together as well. And be free with your experimentation as well. Don't be afraid to try some different stuff, especially when it comes to playing the lead parts, improvised solos on this tune. So have fun with that one, and I'll see you in the next video.